Hey everybody, Vader Saber 1984, also known as that drunk guy and his bullshit opinion. So this is a follow-up to what I previously posted after hearing the Oval Office and all that bullshit. I got copyright on that just because somebody decided to play a song in the background while I was there. But still, hopefully they don't demonetize it too much more than they already do. So in ordinary fashion, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself smoke. Grab onto your butts, your balls, your boobs, whatever you got, because here we go. So, before I get into my rant and rave about everything else, I want to go ahead and, if I could, take a moment of silence for my Uncle Terry, a cowboy through and through, a truck driver, a hard-nosed, dipping, beer-drinking, hard-working, America-loving sumbitch. He passed away today at 5 o'clock, give or take. He passed away today, and for all the Thanksgivings, Christmases, Easters, everything, being at the ranch with Uncle Terry, from my Uncle Tom, my Aunt Trish, my cousins, Amber and Kristen, for everybody that has been there and been a part of Uncle Terry. Just want to go ahead and take a moment of silence real quick for the loss of a great man and a hard-working, true patriot American. All right. Even though I don't like saying amen, because amen is a derivative of Amun Ra, which is, prior to Christianity, quite frankly, when it comes to Egypt. But to you, Uncle Terry, love you. Thank God you're at peace. All right, here we go. So did anybody get to watch Trump's North Carolina rally today? Oh, it was good. It was so good up until he started repeating everything like he always does about mental institutions and all that, going back to his old, but everything else prior to that, it was all Kamala Harris, and I loved it. It was great. He was shooting from the hip. Nothing that you could tell was like scripted, so really enjoyed that. But tag teaming from the previous post that I'm probably going to be copyright infringed and won't be viewed. This guy, your president, spoke so much about what he has done, and I give him credit, full credit, for the fact that he said, "This is what I've done, man." But what he didn't say is what he's done factually, because most of what he said he did, no. The inflation being down, Well, how did it get up? All the jobs that are in America? Oh, I take claim for that. Well, too bad that we had a pandemic that made all the jobs go down, and when you finally took office, people had to get a damn job. So that's why people started getting jobs. All the other crap, ugh. So sickening. I listened to his White House staff spokesperson, whatever you want to call her, you know, the clown that looks like Shanae from In Living Color. No disrespect to the Wayans brothers. Like, y'all were funny. This shit show. But so she sits here and just reads from her book, as she always does, never gives an exact answer to anything, and just predominantly says, tune in, tune in. Well, I tuned in and I didn't hear a God blessed thing that made sense about anything. It wasn't factual. It wasn't, hey, I want to spend time with my grandkids. Hey, I'm dying. Hey, yada, yada, yada. Hey, I'm failing. Hey, I am not cognitively ready to continue on for 4 more years if I get lucky or by another election. No, he just said, it's time to bring in the new breed. Really? The new breed? Some lady who couldn't pass a bar exam, some lady who put more people in jail and then, quite frankly, talk shit about for marijuana and drugs just to make them more labor and denied it. Some lady who was Montel Williams' side piece long time ago, back in the 90s, probably a lot older than you guys to remember, but if you look it up, yeah, apparently she had some knee pads. That's the word. I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's what, this is my bullshit opinion. So he goes on to hand her whatever flame that he claims to be a great presidency. No, I mean, no, come on. Like, if you had any real accomplishments, then I would say yes. But nothing that he said in this Oval Office addressment to the nation was factual. Like, it was all total bullshit. Kind of like when I give my opinion, same thing as an asshole, it still stinks. Same thing. And I counted 10 times, as I said in the other video, counted 10 times where he, but he did bring it up. A stumbling, what do you say, speech impediment, or something along the lines, from Scranton in Delaware. Pick a place, dude. Come on now. It was so pathetic and upsetting, with no facts and no truth to it whatsoever, that I'm like, dude, I would have believed Clinton when he was talking about Monica Lewinsky back in the day, way before that shit. And Clinton was a liar too, so, Alright, I am burnt out on the politic shit right now, so let's move to something else. Yeah, let's move to something else. All right. Speaking of going to something else, my buddy Justin Credible, one of my legends, icons, heroes that I have been in contact with, he's had another infection. I don't know if it's the same with his leg. He hasn't really gone into detail, but I'm trying to get a hold of him and see exactly what's going on. But he's had to cancel a few dates, and hopefully getting things right. So prayers to PJ. Please get better. Also in the wrestling news, yeah. So let's go ahead and break a little kayfabe a little bit when it comes to the wrestling area. We all know that wrestling is scripted. We all know that it is entertainment. Okay? Now, I remember a long time ago where you played your character until you died or until you retired or whatever it was. Like, you played that character while you are in the ring. And I have watched a few things the past few days about a so-said promotion owner / wrestler totally break kayfabe. Totally break kayfabe in a way that, I mean, I didn't know it was possible, and it was cutesy, but quite upsetting. So this promotion owner / wrestler was sending me videos of his live version of his channel, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'll watch this, because it had a tag of something that I was a part of. Okay, so I watched it for an hour and all in, and I'm like, I am not about going against kids being kids. All right, if you're a young man and you still love creating videos and coming up with content, that's great. I understand it. I could understand it if you were to do a video game watch along. I could get that. But if you were to break kayfabe and add in two promotions, both that you're kind of tied to, if you're going to throw that on a live video and it not add up to what you're putting on there, and then make it a marionette of, I guess you would say, imaginary situations, then that should stay on its own. That should not be an affiliation of your brand, somebody else's brand, or other people that have been a part of that brand. You just shouldn't do it, because you're going into the imaginary world that, yes, wrestling is imaginary, but you're now making it even worse for your brand, because you are bringing in imaginary characters who are on the top, not affiliated with you. I get it. It's a land of make-believe in the situation. I get it. Kiddo, I love you. No disrespect, but I'm just saying you are you are doing a bad scar to your business, to your brand, and to your organization by doing that said marionette play along video, adding in actual professionals, live roster professionals to your company and the other company which I was a part of, and still love and honor and protect that business. So to tag those kind of things and make it about that and have nothing to do with it other than Team America marionettes and plastic figures, that should not be tagged. Like, do that for yourself, you know. Create your own stories on paper. If you have to start out with these marionettes, okay, write them down. But I don't think you're protecting the business and the legacy of your company and the past companies. So I love you for giving it a shot, but I'm telling you right now that that's just not a good thing for the ideal of wrestling and the business that you're trying to run and be a part of in that industry. I mean, quite frankly, you will never see Hulk Hogan, Sting, Undertaker, or even the youngest wrestler out there doing that, unless it's for a commercial and a toy maker. Like, you're breaking a wall that, I guess that's your thing, but it doesn't do the business justice. And it damn sure doesn't help your company when you mix pros versus underground. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I can't stand by that. It frustrates me and it upsets me because, yeah, maybe I'm old school, but I remember doing the same thing, but I never recorded it and I never put real names affiliated with real organizations that I'm attached to. So moving on. Pause for the cause. Okay, now I'm back. Just had to take a pause for the cause, and as old Stone Cold likes to say, take a break for the drinking man. So with the wrestling thing kind of out of the way, I do have a few things in line for a few podcasts coming up. I have, oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 6 guests that I am scheduling to be on the podcast with me. Don't know if I'll do it live, because every time I've tried to go live, it just doesn't work. In this landscape format, I have to do it in portrait. So the last one I did with Creature and O'Neill just wouldn't process. It made me so mad because it was such an amazing show. So good job to Creature of the Night and O'Neill DMC for putting on a phenomenal show last Saturday. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Y'all did great. Keep that up. All right, keep creating. However, other artists podcast interviews, I should say, that are coming up. I have had the opportunity to speak to a professor of, if I get the title correct, a professor of Texas Tech for constitutional, something that I couldn't remember, but constitutional, something political. But he is a veteran. He is a gun-toting, red-blooded American, and he has been a friend of mine for a long time, and I really hope to get him on the podcast. I asked him today, and he said, sure. So we're looking forward to that. Other podcasts coming up, I will be out of town, and I look forward to none other than bringing on the MFP, the motherfucking Punisher of UBW, my tag team partner and my best friend of life, as well as the other member of the Triple Entente, such as the MFP, CJ the Crusher himself. So I plan on having a podcast with those three once I go out of town, because it's an 8-hour drive and I just gotta make sure that my schedule works for it. But I honestly plan on being out of town and doing recordings for places of memory and sitting down with those guys of what it was and how we grew up and about their lives. And if the opportunity strays and the stars and the planets align, I will have none other than the hardcore icon himself on this podcast. I need to text him right now, make sure he's doing okay. He's got a little bit of a medical thing going on right now, but half of the podcast is already taken care of, and we will get the other half taken care of and plan on how we do this. So next podcast I plan is going to be my co-host CP, the great man, my good friend Charles Plank. He is going to sit down with me, and we are probably going to deep dive into some wrestling, because yeah, he watched it. He's about my age, maybe a little bit more senior my year, but he's not intuitive as much or as extreme as I like to be. But he said, I will sit down and I will just go with it. And so that's probably going to be the next podcast, as long as nothing crazy comes out politically and all that in the next couple days, weeks. But yes, I plan on having CP, plan on having the MFP, plan on having CJ, and also Cap, CAP, and that mystery man who I've been tagging and hoping and talking to, who I'm about to text right now and make sure he's okay in his state of mind. So without further ado, Vader Saber 1984, also known as that drunk guy in his bullshit opinion. Guys, it is a crazy world we live in, and things are getting crazier, and you think your vote counts. 2020 proved it didn't. But you can't have a voice unless you go out and vote. Make it loud, make it proud. Vader Saber 1984. Cheers to you. Be safe. No violence. And for God's sakes, use your fucking brain. Because this shit is getting stupid. Oh, and real quick, hey YouTube, right there for monetizing me, demonetizing me, cutting out everything, not allowing me to put shit out there. Yeah, you're part of the system, and I know I'm not a big money contributor because I don't make a dime, but I'm getting ready to go to Rumble because, yeah, you don't allow freedom of speech. Peace.